Good afternoon. It's sweltering. We'll cut that out for the West Coast broadcast. Nonetheless, I'll give you the wind variables if you're starting into a headwind, if you are sprinting. Okay, so there you go. Right now, those of you, ladies and gentlemen, who are with us underneath the overhang or braving the weather or at long shots, please take time out now to please rise if you are able. Take off those caps to honor America for the playing of our national anthem. A slew, racing term, of changes for you in race number 1. Scratch the 1, 2, and 6. 1, 2, and 6 are scratched from race number 1. I'll do the scratches first and we'll go over the overweight, shall we? We shall. In the second race, scratch number 3. If you need me, call me. Third race, scratch number 5, Frosted Eclair. The next race with a defection in it is race number 6. Scratch out the 1, Air Jerry, from race number 6. Seventh race, scratch out the 3, Personal Jet. Eighth and last race, the Morning Line.io Sprint Series, race number 1 in that series of 5. Race 8, scratch the 10, QB9. Here we go with other changes. In the second race, number 6, Eric Anthony, is a gelding. Number 1, Army Medic, in the second race is 2 pounds over. That's Angel Stanley, 2 pounds over on the 3. That is, yeah. Let's do that again. Army Medic, number 1, is 2 pounds over in race 2. Okay, we go to the fourth race. Traject, the post-time favorite, more than likely, Morning Line. Number 6, Yosina Arangarin, number 6, is +2 in the fourth race. And jockey change in the seventh race, Personal Jet, that's a scratch. On the 1, Reveille Valley, make the rider Travis Wales. Again, in race number 7, the 1, Reveille Valley, is Travis Wales. I'm getting this all out of my system now. And there you have it. That's all I got. Peter, bail me out. If you're a sprint racer today, you're going to be starting into a headwind of about 15 miles an hour. The wind's out of the northwest. So it's cooling it down a little bit, but not very much. Track looks like it will be fast today.
Well, and a good afternoon to you, Mr. Keith Nelson. And the way I'm looking at it, if they're hitting in the headwind coming down, that may not be the greatest thing for the front runners, but we'll just have to find out. Closers, you're going to have a wind on your backside, so that could be a good place for you. Oh, and by the way, I am 2 pounds overweight this afternoon. 2 pounds overweight on Peter Lurie. Welcome, everybody, on behalf of Excel Entertainment. A very, very warm, sweltering day. It looks like wherever you are, including yours truly, it's going to be very, very hot. So hydration is the key this afternoon. A couple things we want to get through here. Our groom of the week, which will be presented after first race, is Mr. Amadeo Diego. He is from the Ralph Martinez barn. He will be getting his accolades after race number 1. In race number 2, we've got the Clean Barn Award. I think this is very cool that they're doing this. Clean Barn Award comes from our friends over at the Illinois Horsemen. Certificate of Achievement goes to the Marvell Straub Barn. Marvell Straub Barn. Congratulations on the Clean Barn of the week. I'd like that. And if I was an owner, I would really like that. We've got the standings, and they really haven't changed too much. A little bit of a change here. Alexander Bendesu, of course, start to finish, 37 in with the top of the leaderboard. Ademir Santos has now jumped into second place. He just went by Johannes Adengeren, now 25 and 24. And the high-flying apprentice also. We got two good ones here on the Colony. That's Victor Laura. He is hitting right now with 20 wins. That's the top 4. Trainer standings, no surprise. Scotty Becker, 35 wins and counting. In seconds, Mr. Jimmy Watkins, president of the Illinois Horsemen, 16 for Ralph Martinez. He started out slow, and now he is punching in bunches. Way to go, Ralph. And rounding out the top 4, you know I love him, Harry Lynch. He's right there with 14 wins. So, 8-race card today. There was kind of a mix of everything over the weekend. There were favorites, but there were also big prices, so much so that the early pick 4 and pick 5 did not pay out. It was 3 out of 4 and 4 out of 5 is what it was paying. So put on those thinking caps this afternoon, and let's see if we can get ourselves in the flight right off the bat. So we're looking at roughly about 8 minutes. I'll be right back, and we'll be chatting with all of you folks out there, especially those of you who are watching us on YouTube. If you're not on track and you want to do it at some point, all you got to do is get on your streaming service, go to the YouTube channel, click in guest if you don't have an account, and just type in Fairmount Park Horse Racing, and you'll be able to watch it absolutely free and live. On behalf of everyone here at Excel Entertainment, we want to welcome you to a Horse Hooky Tuesday here at Fairmount Park. 16 minutes to post for the opener here on this Horse Hooky Tuesday. Hello, everybody. Peter Lurie handing out hopefully some information for you here at Fairmount Park. And on behalf of everyone here at Excel Entertainment, Keith Nelson obviously is the track announcer, and he'll have the play-by-play throughout the actual races. Let's talk about what's going on here in this opener. We've got a $1 pick 3 on the offering. Also, we've got a 50-cent pick 5, and as I mentioned, those pick 4s and pick 5s early, we're not paying out to 4 and 5. So don't be throwing those tickets away right off the bat. You might want to hang on to them for a little bit. The first race is a 5.5 furlong, 4,000 non-winners of 2 in a year, and these are 3-year-olds and upward who have not won 2 races in 2026, as you probably already gathered. A few scratches in the race. The 1-horse Gallant Buck is out. Orbital Star is out. The 6, Sand Mountain, will not go with the rest of the horses in the field, which brings us down to a field of 6. Let's take a look at the runners. Some of the horses are taking their time coming on in, and we'll get to them in just a little bit. The wagering right now is kind of spread out amongst everybody, so this gives you an idea. The longest shot on the board is 6-1. So I've said before on the show, and if you're new to it, my father, probably making a wager in that big racetrack in the sky, even as we speak, used to always say, if you didn't have a strong opinion, take a long look at the board, and it usually gives you an indication where the smart money is. Well, the smart money is telling you right now, you are on your own. Not an easy card. I think I even said this on Saturday. I thought there were a lot of question marks, but that could make for some good payoffs, or it could make for a very chalky day. I guess we'll just have to see. Horse I got on top is the 8-horse Good Scout, who you can see way back there. They were taking their time coming over. This is a 9-year-old Oxbow who was a winner of the Preakness. Gary Stevens was aboard, I believe, for D. Wayne Lucas, I think was the combo. This 9-year-old, yeah, he's been around. This will be his 60th start this afternoon. Looking for their 15th winner. Likes the distance. 5 for 16 in the winner's circle, with 11 of the 16 hitting the board. And if you believe in the Brisnet speed index numbers, and I certainly do, this is a big number. So we'll see how it plays itself out. 7-2 on the line. Doesn't have what I would call the speed, but hopefully it will be close enough. I think there's a couple of horses, maybe 2, maybe even 3, who could be gunning for the lead. And if that is the case, then I think it's an opportunity for them to steal this one. They've been a runner-up in the previous 2 races, but they did get a win here on May 26th against a similar condition. So we'll just play it out that way. From what I can see, everyone's, I love the groom. He's just like, you could tell somebody's just saying, hey guys, can we pick this up a little bit? We got to get these horses on the track. So they are coming on over. The horse looks nice and relaxed. And as you heard from Keith Nelson, it's going to be a very warm day, so I would stay hydrated and wager accordingly. Of course, I like the 6, Sand Mountain is out, so we will go right to our 3rd choice in the race. That's the 7, Kozan's Valentine, who is the current 9-5 favorite for Clay Lau. Another 9-year-old gelding, a son of Kozan. Way back when, of 2018, went through the OBS sale for $15,000. It's changed hands a lot of places. Another one who likes to win races, 15 for 56 with 20 seconds, 8 thirds. That's a check getter, ladies and gentlemen. Old-fashioned check getter. 1 for 5 at the distance. Has never been off the board, though. Speed index-wise, right up there with the top players. This is another one that I think will appreciate if there's a bit of a pace hookup, and hopefully there will be, but as Keith Nelson mentioned, there's going to be wind in their face as they are leaving the 6 furlong chute. 5.5, I should say, chute. So we'll see if by chance that affects at all the way the race is approached. Javier Tavares, he's been picking up some winners lately. He had a couple of winners over the weekend. making the most of his opportunities. Right now he's hitting at 14%, and he is about 6th right now, currently in the top 10. Move our attention over to the outside post. This is the horse that I think is the speed of the speed, and that is 9. Sonny's Not So Funny. I've said it before, I think he's hysterical. 7-year-old son of American Freedom, whose pop was Pulpit. He's a Hennessy mare named Never Quicker, bred in Kentucky. Marvell Straub, as we mentioned, will be honored in the after race 2 for the clean barn of the week, which was great to see. Take pride in it, Marvell. I say any horseman, take pride in your barn. Just my opinion. Just coming from a guy who was an owner for 22 years. He used to love coming out there. And you see Marvell tacking him up. Last winner for this horse was April 14th, going 5 furlongs and a non-winners of 1 in a year. They are 3 for 9, and their Brisnet speed number is definitely comparable with this group. So I think, it's an interesting race. I mean, there's a lot of horses you can concede. Straub has 2 in the race. Jimmy Watkins has got a horse at 30 to 1 that I knew there was no way this horse was going to be. Call Me Drossel, a 9-year-old Drosselmeyer, who just won, but is now stepping up. And if I was going to include somebody in our pick 5 ticket, it would be Call Me Drossel. I think it's going to be a very interesting horse for this race. So, 9 minutes to post for race number 1. Pick 5 ticket, well, we got one cut off, so we're just going to go with the outside, the 7 Kozan's Valentine, but it's actually Good Scout, who we're going to make our top selection in the race, who's currently 9 to 2. Horses getting ready to come out on the track, 9 minutes to post. Good luck.
Race number 1 goes the distance of 5 1/2 furlongs. $4,000 the claiming price. Non-winners of 2 races in 2026. Scratch the 1 Gallant Buck, the 2 Orbital Star, and the 6 Sand Mountain. After race number 1 in the winner's circle, we will have the Groom of the Week, courtesy of the HBPA. Post time for race 1 of 8 in 5 minutes. Wagering menu, get into the 50-cent pick 5 that kicks off with the opener. You also have win, play, show, exacta, trifecta, superfecta, the early daily double, and the early dollar pick 3. Two minutes. 1 minute, they're approaching the starting gate. They've reached the starting gate for the first of 8 races at Fairmount Park. Kozan's Valentine before the rest. Major contender, Good Scout. Call Me Drossel. Dylan Rocks, Then Sunny Is Not So Funny. Field of 6 for race 1. Flag is up. And they're off. Perfect start. Good Scout broke on time on the far outside. Poking a nose up is Call Me Drossel to take over. Then comes Major Contender, who's going to vie underneath Call Me Drossel. Well back to a fighting trio featuring Sunny Is Not So Funny taking over third from Good Scout, Dylan Rocks, and the trailer is Kozan's Valentine of the Sextet. They zoom right down the back stretch. And it's Sunny Is Not So Funny to take over the front from Call Me Drossel. Good Scout is amongst and moving really well on the far outside. Dylan Rocks has a promising trip. Backing out of it is Major Contender along the fence and is passed by Kozan's Valentine. They're through at the turn. It's in the rearview mirror. Past the 330-yard pole they go. Rail is open for Major Contender, who makes up a couple of spots, but they're all in search of Sunny Is Not So Funny. On the board at 5-2, Kozan's Valentine is a threat down the crown of the course. Good Scout is floundering, but it's all over. Sunny Is Not So Funny. Kozan's Valentine for the place, Good Scout for the show, and then Dylan Rocks. Opening race is now official. Price is coming up. Your winner, $6.80, $3.60, $3. Trifecta, $10 and change. Superfecta, $3 for a dime. Moving into the Fairmount Park winner circle is number 9, Sunny Is Not So Funny, and apprentice rider Victor Lara. Owned by John Cox, trained by Marvel Straub, 7-year-old gelded son of American Freedom out of the Hennessy mare Never Quicker, bred in Kentucky by Sally Thomas and New Dawn Stable LLC. The 1, 2, and 6 were scratched from race number 1. Coming up in the second race, scratch out number 3, If You Need Me, Call Me. The 1, Army Medic, 2 pounds over. The 6, Eric Anthony, is a gelding. Those are your changes, abruptly so, for race number 2 coming up in 19 minutes. And we'll stay down in the old winner's circle. And every time the bell rings here, no, they don't get their wings. Thoroughbred Aftercare gets a donation. Thank you to the Connections. I got you Amato Diego from the Ralph Martinez barn, our groom of the week. The hardest people working here at the racetrack. Well, everyone outside on days like today. Thank you for all you do, Amato and Ralph, and everyone at the HBPA.
14 minutes to post for race number 2. Hey, congratulations out to Marvell Straub getting the winner there in the first race. And as we mentioned, also the Marvell Straub barn is the recipient of the Clean Barn of the Week, and that'll be presented after race number 2. As we are looking at this situation, we've got ourselves 6 furlongs of distance. These are maiden special weights, 3-year-olds and upward. Let's take a closer look at the runners. Scratch in the race, that's the 3. If you need me, call me. Which now brings us down to a field of 5. And I'm going to stick with the horse in front of us here, W.W. Nolan, for trainer Scott Becker. This horse has been working well coming in. Becker hits at about 9% with his firsters. It's one of those kind of races, there's just too many question marks for me with the horses that have experience. So I thought, let's just take a shot and put this one on top. Currently, you're getting a really nice price, 4-1 on W.W. Nolan, who is a 3-year-old son of Win, Win, Win from the Japanese sire Hat Trick, and a hard spun on the dam side. The late great Governor Brereton Jones is Floridian. Looks to be in a good spot here. Coming over with the blinkers. Some people, that's a concern when they see them before they even have a debut race. They're already wearing blinkers, but we'll see how this thing plays out. Ears are kind of going back and forth. Doesn't seem annoyed, but it's a little on tilt. But I think he'll relax once they get cinched up. 2 horses, Rock Dust, for the Eddie Essenprice stables. This is an angle that, I always love. July 4th, he ran just kind of like a 1-pace third. Well bit. He was well met by the public at 8-1. And now coming back pretty quick on 2 weeks rest. I'm expecting a pretty good performance out of him. Reina Arrieta gets the call with this 3-year-old son of Liam's Map. Bred for it, the distance being 6 furlongs. And like I said, they were third, but they got beat 8 1/4. They could easily have been last. I don't think just positions count. I think you have to really look and see how close were they when it was all said and done. The 1 horse is Army Medic. This is another one for Angel Stanley. He's having a solid meet, 15%. Heather Arians also hitting at 15%, so her barn's getting the job done. Used to be in the Heather Smullen barn over at Gulfstream Park. Now comes here. Decent second time out on June 30th. The barn with maiden special weights as a whole, 22%. That's based on a sample of 45. So I think you can use that. I think you definitely can. Sprints as a whole, about 13%. That's a sample of 247. So can get the job done, but I'm not sure it's where they excel. As far as the distance is concerned, absolutely. Frisian Fire, Yankee Gentleman. This horse is absolutely bred for the 6 furlongs distance as they've been doing. But they're 0 for 5 with a 2nd and 2/3. The Brisnet number doesn't jump off the page, but it's competitive for this group. And I think with that rail trip and the scratch, to If You Need Me, Call Me, I think this is your early paid setter. So we'll see how this thing plays out. I can see right now they're doing the old saddling on the walk. Now, for those of you who are not as familiar with this, it's not absolutely common, but it's done a lot. When he or she, I'm talking about the horses, get a little too anxious sitting in the stall being saddled, it's best just to saddle them on the walk. And this way you actually can get it and they're not burning. The key here is you don't want them to lose all of their fight before the race even starts. So it's a field of 5 going postward. We're looking at about 10 minutes to post. $1 pick 3 and $1 pick 4 being offered. I'm going to go with the firster, W.W. Nolan, hopefully to get the price. Good luck.
open maiden special weights, 3 years of age and up, sprinting 6 furlongs, scratch number 3. 6 is a gelding. Post time for the field of 5, featuring win, place wagering, exacta, trifecta, superfecta, rolling doubles, rolling pick 3s, and the dollar early pick 4. It gets started within 5 minutes. Number 6 is a gelding. The 1 Army Medic, 2 pounds overweight. Post time is up in 3 minutes. One minute. The field has reached the starting gate. Loading up for race 2. Army Medic, the filly, running with the boys. W.W. Nolan. Unconnected. And Eric Anthony. Maidens all set. Flag is up. And they're off. Inward break for Army Medic. Away very well from the outside is Eric Anthony, who backs out. Army Medic persists with the pace with Rock Dust going clear. So Rock Dust has a half a length on Army Medic, the filly backing away from the front along the inside plastic. That one's, well, gathered in on the outside by W.W. Nolan, first-time starter, up into second with Army Medic backing to third. Eric Anthony is well positioned now in fourth, and Unconnected is pretty much just that from the rest of the field in fifth, but starts to roll up around the turn. They go past the 3/8 pole onto the 550. It's Rock Dust out by a length from W.W. Nolan, who looks good. Coming back into it is the filly Army Medic. On the outside from last to third is Unconnected as four of them line up. The only one out of it is Eric Anthony. They're into the stretch. Along the fence has been Rock Dust, who's out by 2. Army Medic has her chance. Down the center of the course is Unconnected. Wandering about is Rock Dust. Rock Dust going in, out, but gonna win it nonetheless. Rock Dust, 4-5 will win. Photo second, Army Medic or Unconnected. This is a 3-year-old gray gelded son of Liam's Map out of the Not for Love mare, a Zapara bred in Kentucky by Brookstone Farm and Lee Marbarette. His name is Rock Dust, second-time starter winning one, piloted home by Rainier Arietta. Race 2 now official. The 3 was scratched. He moves into the winner's circle. Conditioned by Eddie Essen Price. Owned by Shelley Essen Price. The winning time, 6 furlongs, a minute 12 and 3/5 of a second, 112.67. Prices, there is no show wagering due to the scratch of the 3, so your winner gets you back $3.60 on a $2 wager, $2.20 to place, and $2.60 to place on number 1, Army Medic. Not much as far as dividends. The early double 9 with 2, $7.20.
13 minutes to post for race number 3 to kick things off. 6 furlong Illini bred $4,000 conditional claimers. Welcome back, everybody. $1 pick 3 being offered in the field. Originally 6, now down to 4 with the scratch of the 4, the 3 and the 5. The 5 most recently Frosted Eclair will not go. Let's take a look at the field as they are down in the paddock currently. 6-5 favorite on the one horse, Rock the Birdhouse. And the fluorescent greens hood, Rock the Birdhouse is a 9-year-old daughter of Birdstone from Limehouse Dam, Limehouse Dancer. Ralph Martinez sends out after a nice, easy win on July 4th. Brody Martinez, if I'm correct in assuming, I think this was his maiden breaker for Brody Martinez. So he's 2 wins under his belt now, and he's looking for his 3rd. This horse is a 5 for 40 in the winner's circle at the distance, 11 seconds, 8 thirds. So 24 of the 40 have hit the board here. 2 wins from 21 starts. I think it's really more of who they're facing. I mean, last time out in that non-winners of 1 in a year, they got the win, and they got the win pretty easy. Although, be it was on a muddy track, so it'll be interesting to see if it will transfer over. I do like the horse today. I don't love the even money, but with the 2 scratches in the race, I don't think anybody's going to get a big price here. Move our attention to the outside, and that's Time Break. Max Quinones sends out, 8-year-old daughter of West Ranger. Good second last time out. She ran in second to Rock the Birdhouse. She's another one. 3 for 29 lifetime, 4 seconds, 7 thirds. So she's definitely up there. Their Brisnet speed index numbers are very comparable for the 2. So I think that makes a lot of sense here. Rounding out to the 3 will be the 2 horse, Freedom Attack. Shane Childers sends out. Back-to-back second place finishes last time out. This is a 1 for 21 at the distance with 3 seconds and 2 thirds. Tough to make the case for. It's got a little bit of speed, so that might be in their favor. 7-year-old daughter of Forest Attack, who's a forestry. Bred by the McCroskey family. Lois McCroskey is the owner. 3 for 34. Does have a win here at Fairmount Park in 8 starts. 3 of the 8 have hit the board. Looking to eclipse $87,000 in overall earnings. And since we've only got a field of 4, let's get right into it and talk about the 4 horse, Betty's Secret. Teddy Randazzo sends this one out. 6-year-old daughter of Secret Circle. The last win for this one came in August of last year. Very difficult to make the case. As you can see right there, just kind of relaxed, tail swishing, but not a big deal. It's very, very warm today. Ears are kind of going back and forth. You know what they always say, what is it, the longest shot on the board? Yeah, it's not them. 20 to 1 on the morning line, currently 2 to 1. So that kind of gives you an idea right now. The longest shot on the board are co-favorites at 3 to 1. So this is one of those, if you are playing the pick 5, I wouldn't be shocked if you took the all box on that one. 6-5 favorite, top selection for yours truly, Rock the Birdhouse. Come on, Brody, let's get that 3rd win. Horses coming out on the track. Good luck.
Okay, race number 3. Don't get left out. It starts a fresh, rolling pick 3 for $1. You have trifecta wagering, rolling daily doubles, exactas, win, and place. Post time coming up in just 5 minutes. Scratch number 5, Frosted Eclair. Post time for the third race in 3 minutes. Circling about a 16th away from the 6 furlong starting gate position. Here are your scratches for the rest of the program. In the upcoming 4th race, just an overweight on the 6th, Traject 2 pounds over. We're moving along. To race number 5, there are no changes in the 5th. 6th race, scratch the 1, Air Jerry. 7th race, Travis Wales on the 1, Reveille Valley. The 3, Personal Jet, is a scratch. And in the 8th and final race, the MorningLine.io Sprint Series race, the first of 5, scratch out the 10, QB9. Almost at the starting gate for the running of race 3. Field loading in for race 3. Rock the Birdhouse and Brody Martinez. Buddy Secret and Victor Laura. Freedom Attack, Angel Stanley. And the outside, Time Break and Frank Reyes. They're in the gate. And they're off, and the Marty McGee outside for Time Break. Got the jump on the field. Freedom Attack is close. And sticking around in the center is Betty Secret. The last horse away is the late running Rock the Birdhouse, trailing by 7.5. Speed is on. Freedom Attack nearest us, then Betty Secret covering up the front runner. On the far outside is Time Break, well in hand for jockey Frank Reyes. And then way back we have Rock the Birdhouse and the apprentice Brody Martinez, who starts to make up about 7 lengths. Around the turn they go. It's Freedom Attack getting clear of the rest. Freedom Attack in hand, and they went slow for the opening quarter mile. Freedom Attack is out by a length and a quarter from Betty Secret, who's going the wrong way. Here comes Time Break, 3 deep from the inside rail, and sticking to the fence is Rock the Birdhouse. Has some pace to roll the dice along the plastic past the 330. It's Freedom Attack out by a length. Rock the Birdhouse might have the number. It's Rock the Birdhouse rail running and goes right by Brody Martinez with another one for Pops. Rock the Birdhouse wins by 3.5. Freedom Attack next, then Time Break and Betty Secret. Rock the Birdhouse paid $6.20 to win, $3.20 to place. The trifecta $2.50. Welcome back to the winner's enclosure. Back-to-back wins for Rock the Birdhouse. Underneath, Brody Martinez. Owned by Michael Kisner, trained by Ralph Martinez. She's a 9-year-old chestnut mare by Birdstone out of the Limehouse mare, Limehouse Dancer, bred in Illinois by Stephen Bush. 2-1, paid $6.20. The 5 was scratched. 3 was scratched a while back. Congratulations to the winning connections. In the 4th race, the 6 is +2. 5 1/2 furlongs, $20,000 filly and mare allowance optional claiming race coming up next. Post time set for 19 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody. 14 minutes to post. Race number 4 here at Fairmount Park on this Horse Hooky Tuesday. Starting another $1 pick 3. Before that, congratulations to Team Martinez. Ralph and his son Brody getting the job done. I'm actually surprised we got 2-1 in a field of 4. That's pretty good value, so we'll take it. Move on now, 5.5 furlongs the distance. These are optional, claiming 20,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime. It is not a state bred race, so the purse $18,500. Horses down in the paddock, field of 7. Let's go take a closer look at the runners. As far as the field is concerned, 8-5 favorite out there on the 3, but we went in a different direction. We decided to go with Traject for the Heather Arian barn here. This horse was bumped at the break, no room the whole way around, has the right to improve, and really wasn't embarrassed. Got beat 2 1/4 lengths for the whole thing. Johannes Adengaren stays aboard for the 3-year-old daughter of Run Happy from the Blame Mare Width. Bred for the distance, but has never attempted it. Now, do I expect to get, what is it, it was 4-1, now it's 2-1? Yeah, there's no way. This horse will be favored before it's all said and done. A $32,000 Phasic tipped-in purchase. I think it will be sitting second flight. There appears to be 3 horses that might be going for the lead, and I do believe, if there is a pace hookup, that this is the most likely victor, currently at 2-1. Move our attention, 20-1 on the 5, now currently 8-1. I thought in my now way defunct pick 4 ticket that this was a must use. We lost the first leg. We, of course, were alive in the second and third, but they don't pay for that. Just squeezing by for owner trainer Jimmy Watkins. This is a New York bred 3-year-old daughter of Motown, whose pop obviously was Uncle Mo. Does have a win at the distance, that last time out, but is facing winners for the very first time. Now, this is why I think the horse was 20-1 on the line. Had been competing at the maiden 6250 level. Absolutely blew their doors off. Then shows up now in an optional claiming 20 non-winners at 2. Well, let's listen to the condition. Fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races, or an optional claiming price of 20,000, or for horses who have never won 2 races. So, yes, it is definitely a move up in class, but they won so handily last time out that maybe it's an opportunity just to take it. If you look at the Brisnet speed indexes in this race, this horse is one of the top ones. So I think it's definitely worthy of a shot. Also, I believe they are the speed of the speed. Interesting that Ademir Santos climbs aboard Alexander Bendesu. He had a choice in the race, and he ends up with the 9-5 favorites. So I totally get it, but I thought it was a must-use, and it's a decent price. The 1 horse, Dancing With Me Fiona, for Steve Fridley. This is one that will hope for a pace hookup. That's about the only thing I can say. Not a bad horse. Doesn't exactly, to me, look like a sprinter physically, but that's what they've been doing. And they got a win 2 back, June 9th. So that's an interesting race. 0 for 4 with a second and third at the distance. The Brisnet number's not one of the tops in the group, but this 3-year-old daughter of Flatter. But again, you know, I said doesn't really look like a sprinter. The breeding, AP Indy is the grandsire, Hard Spun of the Dam sire. You know, this is a horse I keep being surprised they don't try 2 turns, but for whatever reason, they've decided, nope, not in the resume. Victor Lar gets the call, as I mentioned in the pre-show. Business really picking up for him. He's now currently 4th in the rider standings. Rounding out the top 4, well, got to look at the 2-1 favorite. And that is Classy Emily for Robert Pompel. Was an easy winner going 5.5 on May 23rd for maiden claim in 10. Now has tried the optional claiming condition twice and just wasn't in distance or competitive at all. So they're going to have to really step it up if they're going to get the job done today. Can't say that they can't, but I do believe it's going to be a little tough. Bettors don't seem to think so. Bettors are making this horse the favorite. Looking at the horse right now, ears kind of going back and forth. That's a sprinter. Looks just like a sprinter. So we'll see how they play this one out. So to kick off the $1 pick three, fourth leg of the early pick five, 6-5-1-3 is how I'm going to see it. A lot of ways to go, but I'm going to go with Traject, the 6 horse, as my top selection. Horses getting ready to come out on the track momentarily. Good luck.
Fillies and mares 3 years of age and up, non-winners of 2 or in for the optional $20,000 price tag. They sprint 5 1/2 furlongs. The 6 is +3. Field of 7. Rolling daily doubles, you have rolling dollar pick threes. Win, play, show. Exacta, trifecta, superfecta, 5 minutes. You still have a couple of minutes for all wagers in the upcoming 4th. Next live racing day will be this Saturday at 1:30. It should be a little less as far as heat and humidity. Field of 7 approaching the starting gate for the 4th. Horses loading into the starting gate. Be nice to have the music turned off right now as they load in. Fear the Queen will be last one to load in. There goes Classy Emily. Fear the Queen moving in. Not quite yet. They're in the gate. And they're not in the gate. Fear the Queen has departed Corey Orm. Shaking it off. Fear the Queen's backed out. State veterinarian looking at the 7. She's being loaded back in. And she does not want to budge. Corey getting back aboard. Looks like we're almost set. And they're off. Tough beginning for Classy Emily, who got banged around. That leaves the middle open for just squeezing by. Has a length and a quarter on Classy Emily up to second. Passing Passion is third. Fourth, She's Fascinating. Your favorite is running in fifth, about 5 or 6 off the front runners. Next comes Dance With Me Fiona, a winner 2 races back. And Fear the Queen has to do them all and is out by 11 lengths from the speed that is just squeezing by. Passing Passion up close in second. Circling up as She's Fascinating in a joint third with the rail running Classy Emily. Here comes Traject, who's gaining. So is Dance With Me Fiona. Fear the Queen still has 8 to make up as they straighten away. It's still just squeezing by, clinging to a length and a half lead. Splitting is Classy Emily on the outside, Passing Passion. The only one with a chance late is Dance With Me Fiona. Dance With Me Fiona is gaining, but it's just squeezing by. Watkins to the winner's circle. Photo second, that'll go to Classy Emily. Passing Passion third, and Dance With Me Fiona fourth. Just squeezing by 11-1. back-to-back wins. This time, race number 4 on this Tuesday, just squeezing by a jockey, Adamar Santos, owned and trained by Jimmy Watkins. Just squeezing by is a 3-year-old bay daughter of Motown out of the Run Happy mare Dixie Dancing. Bred in New York by 3 Diamond Fam. The 5 paid 11 to 1 and paid $24.20 to win, $14 to place, $8 to show. Trifecta, $616.40 for a 50-cent ticket. Pick 3 for races 2, 3, and 4, $533.90. The race 3 and 4 daily double, $66.50. 10-cent superfecta, 10-cent superfecta, $657.79. The exacta, $104.80. All 7 ran in race number 4, 5, 3, 4, and 1. Coming up in race 5, there are no program changes. 6 furlongs the distance, $20,000 Illinois bred or foaled fillies and mares. That's some serious bell ringing. Donations going to Thoroughbred Aftercare. No changes for the upcoming 5th race. It starts the late dollar pick 4. The winning time for just squeezing by, 1 minute 6 2/5 of a second, 106.45.
Welcome back. 15 minutes to post. The start of the late pick 4 here in race number 5. Also closing out the pick 5 ticket. I think I said during the pre-show, a lot of times you got to hold on to those pick 5, pick 4 tickets because you never know. I don't know if there is a live ticket right now, but all I can say is I got knocked out in the first leg, and we are sitting on the rest of them. So this very easily could be a situation where we might get paid 4 out of 5. Don't know for a fact, but all I know is I'm hanging on to my ticket. Horses around the paddock. Let's take a closer look at the runners. Could be one of those situations, so we're playing accordingly. 2-1 favorite on the 6 horse, Motown Renee. I don't believe for a second this horse is going to be 2-1. I think will be probably odds on when it's all said and done. This is a 3-year-old daughter of Motown. I've been talking about this horse since they got here in May. I wouldn't be surprised if they took a swing in a stakes race with this one. So far, they've just proven very difficult to beat. Brisbane speed number wise, one of the tops. A lot of speed. Alexander Bendesu knows this horse quite well for owner Wayne Catalano and Catalano Thoroughbreds. 3 for 3 here. All 3 of these wins, so I won't be surprised if today is another one. Now, of course, these are Illini bred, $20,000 winners of 4. So guess what? The purse structure, $40,500. So I love what Wayne is doing with this one, putting this horse right in the spot. Now, here's the key. They've got speed, but the horse just to the inside of them, St. Galib, also has speed, and they have one way to go, and they just won in the mud back in May in this condition. So what we might get to see today is, can this horse sit just off the pace? I think they're the fastest of the group. But if St. Galib is just hell-bent on the lead, I think it'll be interesting to see this horse sit just off of the flank. 4 horse is Disguised Devil. This is the one for Larry Ravelli that probably would benefit the most if there is a pace hookup. Came from way off the pace last time out and just got beat half a length for the whole thing as the betting favorite. This horse has been betting favorite for a lot of races. Back-to-back winners in May and June. 2 for 4 at the distance with a second. Possesses the top Brisnet speed index number. And as I said, with the pace, this could be the horse that will upset. I'm using both of them, the 4 and the 6, in this late pick 4. I think it's very, very important in this situation. Move to the 1, and that is Bar Money. Freddie Essen Price, looking for his second winner on today's card. Adamar Santos, looking for another winner. He just won the last. Last seen on May 26th. It wasn't a bad race. It wasn't a great race, but they definitely had an excuse. They got bumped and squeezed at the start. Team's doing really well at just keeping this horse nice and relaxed. 2 for 7 at the distance with a second and a third. Does have a win here at Fairmount Park. Going back to May of 2024, this is all they've been running at. But it looks like they've had a couple of races over at Hawthorne in the old days. This is one that would have to have a pace meltdown, I believe, if they're going to be successful. Rounding out the group, we go to the 3, Lali, or Lali, not sure how they're saying it. 5-year-old daughter of King's Empire for Frank Kirby. Kirby looking for his first winner here at Fairmount of the meet. Frankie Reyes making the most of the opportunities. Horse has been based over at Hawthorne. Worked June 7th, a 102-1 best of in the morning. I always prefer, if they're going to run here, I'd rather see a work over the track. I mean, that's just my opinion. It doesn't have to be particularly fast, but I prefer to see one. But we shall see. Kirby hitting at 14% on the year, so the barn's basically getting the job done. 3 for 9 at the distance, 5 for 9 hitting the board. And as I said with the previous horse, this is a horse that I believe is going to have a little help up front if they're going to be successful. The horse looks good, nice and relaxed, getting a nice little hose down in the process. So 6-4-1-3. I'm going to use the 4 and the 6 in the first leg of the late pick 4, and I'm hoping we might be still alive in the early pick 5. Horses getting ready to come out on the track. Good luck.
Race number 5 is a $20,000 non-winners of 4 allowance optional claiming race for Illinois breds or foaled fillies and mares going the sprint distance of 3/4 of a mile. Post time is up in 6 minutes. Yes, we are on the YouTube. Fairmount Park racing, then click live. And you're like 3 or 4 seconds behind. So check us out if you can't make it to the track. There's Mr. Lurie's late dollar pick 4. In this 5th race, win, play, show, exacta, trifecta, superfecta, rolling doubles, rolling pick 3s, and that late dollar pick 4. So get into that. Horses are nearing the starting gate less than a minute for all wagers in the fifth. Runners loading in for the fifth. Disguised Devil is up. Bar Money. Irish Spark. Front of the gate open for St. Gollop, number 5. Now Lolly and Motown Renee. They're in the gate. Flag is up, and they're off. Very troublesome beginning for Disguised Devil. Got banged around outside the gate. It's Motown Renee inserts the lead and has it by a half a length over Lolly in second. Third and fourth. Along the rail, Irish Spark is passed by St. Gollop, who now moves from fourth to second. Back in fifth after a horrible first couple of strides is Disguised Devil trying to circle up, and the last horse away is Bar Money. Around the turn they wheel here in the fifth, and it's all Motown Renee having it her own way by a length and a quarter. St. Gollop is tracking, and here comes Disguised Devil used up in the opening 3/8 of a mile. Around the turn, it's still Motown Renee, just easy as she pleases, out by a length and a quarter, slowing them right down. Here comes Disguised Devil wider. The split from Irish Spark. From last, here comes a rail run from Bar Money. Into the final furlong. Shaken up is Motown Renee. Irish Spark is gaining, making a race of it. Irish Spark, Motown Renee. Irish Spark, Motown Renee in a head bobber. I think it was Motown Renee in the bob at the wire. Very close. You have the shortest price and the longest price, separated by a nose at the wire. The camera people say Motown Renee. The placing judges will post it in a couple of seconds. The old adage is the longer it takes, the more likely it is to be a heater, maybe? Six, Motown Renee. 4 wins in a row. Two to five over 24-1, over 8-1, over 7-2. Motown Renee completes 6 furlongs in 1:11 and 4, 111.97, and paid 280, 210, 210. The dollar exacta for the 6 and 2, $21.40. Into the winner's circle steps Motown Renee and jockey Alexander Bendezu. Owned by Catalano Thoroughbreds Incorporated. Wayne Catalano, the victorious breeder and trainer of this 3-year-old gray daughter of Motown, out of the creative Cosmere, Shelby Renee. Has known nothing but the winner's circle since racing here in from Fairgrounds. The early pick 4 were the free square, $622.10 for a buck. The pick 5, $419. Pick 3 for races 3, 4, and 5, $228.90. All 6 ran in today's 5th. The 6th race scratched the 1 Air Jerry. Field of 7 to sprint 5 1/2 furlongs. Fillies and mares, non-winners of 4 coming up in 19 minutes.
14 minutes to post for the 6th, the final pick 3 of the afternoon on a Horse Hickey Tuesday. By the way, Motown Renee hanging on for the victory. 4 lifetime starts, 4 winners for Wayne Catalano and Catalano Thoroughbreds. Well played, Wayne. Well played indeed. 6th race coming up is a 5.5 furlongs, 62.50. These are non-winners of 4 lifetime, and these are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won 4 races, hence the non-winners of 4 lifetime. Looks like a field originally of 8, now down to 7, with the rail trip Air Jerry out of the race. Let's take a closer look at the runners. Looking at the field, 14 minutes to post, and for yours truly, I go to the outside like a lot of the people here today. And we're going to take Cooking the Books for Jimmy Watkins. I see Watkins winning another one here. 8-5 from that 9-2 morning line. Horse has won 2 of the last 3 races. The one thing about Jimmy Watkins, I think he places horses extremely well. He will take chances like he did in the previous race to win that optional race, but he's just very good with his owners, especially, of just putting them where they can win. 4-year-old daughter of Outwork was a nice winner against non-winners of 3 Company. Now, you may look at it and say monetarily they're going from 5 to 62.50. More importantly, they're going from non-winners of 3 to non-winners of 4. Very easily, it's what I like to call condition book. In the book, there wasn't a 5,000 non-winners of 4. There was only a 62.50. So you probably go to your owners, which, by the way, are his people, and say, you know what, folks, we can either wait another few weeks to run, or we can run now. Basically, most of the horses that are in this race are in that same situation. I think the horse will be on or near the lead, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Ademir Santos, again, looking for another victory on today's card. Move our attention over to the 6th, and that's Escovedo. This is the horse I figured would go favorite. A lot of speed for Max Quinones. Currently on a 2-race win streak, one from Hawthorne. Showed up here on July 11th in a wet, fast track and got the money. Now, this horse is 3 for 6 at the distance of 5.5 furlongs. So the question is the speed enough? Well, I think there are 3 horses with that same style. Because of that, that's kind of why I was leaning to Cooking the Books. I just think the horse makes a lot of sense in this race. If Escovedo was to make it 3 in a row, I would not be shocked. Leading rider Alexander Bendesu gets the call with his 4-year-old daughter of McLean's Music. Absolutely bred for it. Possesses one of the top Brisnet speed numbers. I think makes a lot of sense. The 5-horse Last Gap is the one that could upset the apple cart. This is a horse who picked up a winner 2 back on May 9th. Showed up here on the 6th of June, and they went a full second faster to the half. And that might have been the undoing. Victor Santiago aboard. I think you're going to see something similar to that this time out. As I mentioned, there is a ton of speed here. It's a good-looking horse. Man in the pink, there's your leading trainer. That's Scotty Becker. By the way, big Cardinal fan and big St. Louis Blues hockey fan. Little trivia, just in case you're having one of those trivia nights. You can throw that one out. It's a 5-year-old daughter of Collected. She's never been worse than second in 4 of the 5 starts at the distance. Her speed index numbers work out. She's 5 for 9 hitting the board here at Fairmount Park, 2 of which, both winners in the winner's circle. I mean, the horse makes a tremendous amount of sense. If for whatever reason they can shake clear, they could easily go wire to wire. Rounding out our top 4, horse right in front of you there, that's the 2, Golden Edge. Guess what? Another speed horse. Recent claim for Tammy Hornsby. Hornsby, first after the claim in a sample of 30, she hits with 20%. That's a pretty good number. Claiming in general, she's 18%. 17% on a sample of 168. Definitely a number you can use. And she possesses the top Brisnet speed index number. It's close, but she gets the top one. Horse is looking very aware. Just kind of ears going back and forth. Exactly what you want to see. Corey Orm gets the call. Now, with the scratch of Air Jerry, Golden Edge is going to end up on the rail. And we'll have to see if that affects them. I mean, they got a lot of speed, so they can kind of pop out there. And hopefully it's good enough to get the money. We're starting out a pick 3 here. And just in like our pick 4 ticket, we're using 4 horses in the race. 2, 5, 6, and 8. But we're going to go to the outside with the 8 horse. Cook in the Books is our top selection, currently at 2-1. Horses getting close, 9 minutes to post. Good luck.
Time to play the final pick three on this Tuesday. $6,250, the claiming price for these fillies and mares. 3 years of age and upwards that have never won four. Scratch number one, Air Jerry. Post time in 5 minutes. Less than 1 minute. They're approaching the 5 1/2 furlong starting gate position for race 6. Runners loading in quickly. Two back. Grays and Gator and Cook in the books. Cook in the books, last one. They're in the gate. And they're off. Pinballed around at the start was Candy Looker. Out very well from an outside stall. Escovedo gets out, but there goes Last Gasp. Last Gasp, Escovedo, first and second. Third is Golden Edge. Fourth on the outside in a very good spot is Cook in the Books, just about 3 or 4 lengths from in fourth. Look, 3 lengths back to Into Golden Road. Next comes Grays and Gator around the turn, and last, Candy Looker trails by 9.5. On the front, Escovedo out by 2 and reaching very well. Here comes Cook in the Books, who moves from fourth to second and starts to move on up towards the quarter-mile mark. Back in third is Last Gasp. Golden Edge has more to come. Into Golden Road runs on, and far back, Grays and Gator and Candy Looker in deep stretch. Escovedo is out to a 4-length lead inside the final furlongs, and it's wrapped up. Escovedo at 2-1, going to score again and runs away. Under wraps, Escovedo scores by 5. Next was Golden Edge. Third is a 3-way go, either Last Gasp, Cook in the Books, or Into Golden Road. Six, Escovedo. 2, Golden Edge second. 5, Last Gasp third. 8, Cook in the Books fourth. Three wins in a row for number 6, Escovedo, and jockey Alexander Bendezu with a riding double. Owned by In His Favor Stable, Max Quinones. Escovedo's a 4-year-old bay daughter of McLean's Music out of the sensational mare, Ms. Short Fuse, bred in Kentucky by Mark T. Anderson. The winning time, 1:05 and 4/5, 1:05.80. Exacta 11:20, trifecta $69.65. Race 5 and $6 double, $3.90, 10-cent super, I think around $37. The pick three for $1, races 4, 5, and 6, $94.60. Yeah, 10-cent superfecta, almost $38. The one was scratched in today's 6th race. 7th race, we go a mile 70 yards. 3-year-olds and up, 9 winners of 3. Claiming price is $10,000. Scratch number 3, Personal Jet. Post time for Dave Hemmer's big 70th birthday bash is coming up in 20 minutes.
4 horses in the second leg of the pick 4, and we get the second choice. Better than getting the first choice. Welcome back, everybody. We're about 14 minutes to post for race number 7 here on this beautiful yet warm Tuesday, Horse Hooky Tuesday here at Fairmount Park. Getting ready for the late daily double. Travis Wales takes over on the 1, Revelette Valley, and we have a scratch in the race. Take out the 3. That is Personal Jet. What that basically tells me is first choice was the 3, but he would get the horse, if it's scratched, to the other, which is exactly what happened. Horses are getting ready. They're down in the paddock. Let's take a closer look at the runners. Right in front of you there, that is the 6, our top selection, and that is WW Star for trainer Scott Becker. Victor Santiago gets the call. Last time out, I just believe this horse wanted no part of that muddy track. Just got involved for a little bit and then just was done. Now shows up again at the same distance, dropping down to the 10 non-winners of 3. Again, I just think it's condition book. I just think there probably wasn't, for the timeline, there wasn't a 15,000 non-winners of 3, so they decided to jump on board. Charles Ritter and Scott Becker. There's no reason why Scott wouldn't have to go to Charles Ritter and say, this is what we're doing. I mean, they've had way too much success in their relationship together to be questioning what Scott does with these horses. This is a 3-year-old Ridgeling, Maxfield, whose pop was Street Sense, a Dixie Union mare by the name of Revered. And they've only tried the distance one time, the last time out, on the mud. So I'm willing to put a line through that one and give them another shot. Horse looks good, nice and relaxed. Exactly what you want to see. And they're tacking up right now even as we speak. Santiago's been aboard for both races, so I won't be surprised if they make the lead again. This isn't a race that has a tremendous amount of speed. However, the horse on the inside also has some speed. We'll get to that in just a little bit. 7 horse is Arky Road. Coming off that win 3 back, this is a tricky sell for yours truly. 3-1 on the line, overlay right now at 6-1. The other Scott Becker, 4-year-old Entice. Now I did use, not going to say I didn't, I did use, but I thought this was a tricky move. 1 for 7 at the distance. The win came here at Fairmount Park. Curious what the mile and 70. This is another one on that July 4th muddy day. That was just, I was there. It was a tough day. You either liked the course or you didn't. It was as simple as that. Since then, has put in 2 back-to-back poor efforts, but I believe has the right to improve. Bendesu, I'm sure could have ridden another horse in the race if he wanted to. And in fact, I know he could have, but he opts to stay aboard, and it makes sense. Blinkers on, ears pointed forward. It's always right when they get the tacked up. Yeah, this horse is all business. I won't be surprised if they have much better effort today. They complement each other because WW Star is a speed horse by nature, and Arky Road likes to sit just off of the pace. So we'll see how they play each other out. Rounding out our top 3, because obviously the 3-horse Personal Jet is scratched. So we're going to go with the 1, Reveal, or actually I believe it's Reveille Valley for Tammy Hornsby. Comes over firmly of the Burl McBride barn over at Oaklawn Park with this Arkansas bred. Tammy's been doing this a lot. And she ran in a non-winners of 4 last time out. Was in a bit of a war the whole way around. Bore out at the quarter pole and still hung out to be 3rd, beating a length of 3/4. That was on June 27th. That was a sloppy mile 70. Let me preface, sloppy and muddy, completely different situations. And as I've said before on numerous occasions, you get a horse that's plays on sloppy, well, more times than not, that's a fair track. At least it should be. When you get a muddy track, they're spinning their wheels. You're just not sure who's going to like it and who isn't. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Travis Wales, I would assume the idea was if Personnel Jet scratches, then Wales takes over on Reveille Valley. I don't think it says anything about Corey Orman, his ability. I'm sure that was taken care of. I was a jocks agent for a while, so I know a lot of times those things will come up, and they let them know. They let them know at the draw, this is what's going to happen. So Wales takes over. Horse has got speed, draws the rail trip, and we'll see if it plays out in its own. However, 6-7-1. We're going with the 1-6-7 in our pick 4 and our pick 3, so we'll see if we can keep this thing rolling. But we put the 6 horse, and that's W star, hopefully a star all the way to the winner's circle.
Race number 7, sponsored by Dave Hemmer's big 70th birthday. I'm assuming. Way to go. $10,000 claiming race, non-winners of 3 at the 1 mile, 70-yard distance. The one to be ridden by Travis Wales. Scratch number 3, Personal Jet. Post time for the late daily double in 6 minutes. This is your 2-minute warning. Now remember the St. Louis Derby coming up in the month of August on the 29th on that Saturday. Hope you can join us for that. 3-year-olds, we'll see how many we get in the nominations coming up. $250,000 race. Always a fun afternoon of racing. Keep in mind we are running Tuesdays and Saturdays at 1:30 in the Central Time Zone. Make plans to join us if you can. Looks like the horses are circling at the furlong pole, so you still have an extra minute or two. Remember, our next race is the first of 5 in a series at 6 furlongs. It's the 2026 MorningLine.io Sprint Series. Today's purse, $25,000. The $15,000 optional claiming race. $10,000 starter allowance as well. The series starts today and then goes August 11th, then September 1st and September 22nd, with the final for $35,000 October 17th. Horses have reached the starting gate for the 7th and the late double. As they load in, happy 70th to Dave Hemmer and crew in the winner's circle. Just a couple left to load. Waiting on T-Law and grandson Sam. They're in the gate. And they're off. A good even dispatch. Cutlass King got the jump along with T-Law, and there goes a sprinting gray on the inside. That's Reveille Valley to maintain the inside track position early. Bumper cars featuring Skylane, who muscles on through there up into second. So they go in sequential order for the most part. Wider to WW Star, who's covered up on the outside by Cutlass King. That's the top quartet. Running a very good 5th after being bumped around a little bit is Skylane. 6th on that one's outside is Arky Road. Then a break of about 4 or 5 lengths back to Pete's Legacy, saving ground. Going out in the wandering part of the track is grandson Sam. And last, down the backstretch is Recause. Very quick for this group. 23 and 4/5 of a second. Speed is on. Reveille Valley and Tila throw it down, and here comes Cutlass King, who's cut loose on the far outside. Moving, ground saving. Sky Lane is fourth. Fifth on that one's outside is WW Star. Sixth and on the move is Arky Road. Getting in closer order around the turn is Pete's Legacy. Trying to move up is Recause, and then way back there, grandson Sam has a lot of running to do, but is moving up nonetheless. Half mile in 48 seconds flat. They're towards the quarter pole. It's Cutlass King by a length. Sky Lane is gaining with every stride. Not today for Reveille Valley. Too much too soon. Traffic troubles for Pete's Legacy along the fence. Dropping back, trying to move up is WW Star, but is gasping. Deep stretch, Sky Lane moves away from Cutlass King. Sky Lane, double digits, wrong lead, doesn't matter. Sky Lane gonna win the seventh and move on with the late double. Will score by almost 3 lengths. A good second for Cutlass King. Pete's Legacy was third, and then Recause was fourth. Unofficial 2, 8, 4, and 9. Race 7 now official. Your winner paid $23.80, $10.20 to play, $6.20 to show. The exact is $69. And back in the winner's circle to greet Dave Hemmer, big 70th birthday bash is Sky Lane number 2. And Javier Tavares, owned by Lauren Diego, trained by Frank Randazzo Jr. Sky Lane is a 5-year-old gelded son of Motown, another from Motown. Out of the old-fashioned mare, Grace That Abounds, bred in Kentucky by C. Kidder and N. Cole. How personable. The winning time, mile 70, track fast, 1 minute, 46.44 seconds. The exacta, $68.60. The trifecta, $195 plus. Pick 3 for races 5, 6, and 7, $82. One more time. Mid-card double, races 6 and 7. The 6 and 2, $49.30. 10-cent superfecta for the 7th race, $185. Moving up to race number 8. The Sprint Series is on. Scratch the 10, QB9 from race number 8. We shorten up and go 6 furlongs, $15,000 starter allowance, optional claiming race for the morningline.io Sprint Series, number 1. Post time coming up in 19 minutes.
14 minutes to post to the 8th and final on our Horse Hooky Tuesday card. Welcome back, everybody, especially our folks who will continue to watch on YouTube. If you've never done it before, just go to your streaming service, look for the YouTube channel. You don't have to have a subscription. You can just go where it says sign in as guest. Type in Fairmount Park horse racing, and you'll be right with us in the comforts of your own home. Getting ready to roll with this 6 furlongs. This is an optional claiming 15. This is open company. Still a $25,000 purse on the line for this group. One scratch in the field of 11 brings us down to a field of 10. That's the horse out there from the 10 hole. QB9 will not go this afternoon. Let's take a look at the runners. Horse in front of you for me, I'm going for a price to close out the show. 6 horse, that is Strange Arrange here for the Eduardo Rodriguez barn. Ismael Thoroughbreds LLC, the owners. This horse has won 4 of its last 5 races between Hawthorne and Fairmount Park. Now, granted, they won last time out on a wet, fast track. That doesn't concern me. I just think that that's wet, fast is as good as a fast track as far as I'm concerned. This 7-year-old gelded son of Hootenanny, a Quality Road grandsire and first samurai, the sire of the Dam. Horse likes the distance. 11 winners from 29 lifetime starts. 21 of the 29 hitting the board. I believe possesses the top Brisnet speed index. It's close, but they have the top one. And I like Johannes Adengaren aboard. This is the kind of speed horse I think she excels on. Now, granted, there's another race where there is a fair amount of speed in the race, and that may not play in their favor. But I think this horse makes a lot of sense. You can see right now, just getting tacked up. Looks nice and relaxed. Ears occasionally going back and forth, which I love. It's a showing of very aware what's around them. He or she also showing the confidence to anyone else who's around, and doing a little Michael Jordan with that tongue hanging out. That's usually more for the tongue tie, but I always think that's cute to note. As far as the rest of the field is concerned, the 9 Honor Point, I figured would go favorite and is 2-1 currently. The other Eduardo Rodriguez horse, Alexander Bendesu, currently on a 3-race win streak. Won here at Fairmount Park on May 23rd, then skipped to go over to Hawthorne for the June and July races. They were both winners. In fact, they were going to try the turf, and both races got taken off the grass. It's the kind of horse that, yeah, I would definitely try the grass with. The Australian-Irish connection on the Dam side. Breeding suggests this horse would probably like it. This is just a winning machine. 4 wins from 6 lifetime starts. Leading rider Alexander Bendesu gets the call, and right now currently at 2-1. 8 horse is Bill's Honor. Second, although a distant second, but was clear of the 3rd horse in a field of 8 back here on May 30th against 25 Open. Now, the reason why I think this horse does make sense here for Scotty Becker, obviously, and for his partner, Charles Ritter, the 6-year-old gelded son of Galib was facing Open company in those last 3 claiming races. 25 Open can be very salty. So I think the horse makes sense. They haven't put together back-to-back winners in quite some time, since 2024, but 6 for 7 at the distance of 6 furlongs on the main track. 6 for 7 and 1 second. They've never been worse than second in 7 tries. Good looking horse, well put together. Looking at the camera like, yeah, I know you're talking about me. This is a horse that I think will probably be hitting on the flank of whoever ends up on the front end. And there might be a few of them when it's all said and done. Rounding out the field, the 2 horse, American Warrior. This is a 5-year-old gelded son of Warrior's Reward, whose pop was Medaglia d'Oro. Likes to win races, 4 for 16 at the distance, 10 of 16 hitting the board. Bit of a check getter. Has been no worse than 3rd since August of last year. Never been off the board at Fairmount Park. Let me preface, never been off the board. 3 winners, 4 seconds, and 2/3 at Fairmount Park. Approaching $132,000 in earnings for, you guessed it, Jimmy Watkins. There is Jimmy right there. Horse looks nice and relaxed. This is the kind of horse that if you had extra money in your ticket, pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 5, well, no pick 5, but pick 4 or pick 3, this would have been one that I would have said you must include. If the speed does each other in, this is the most likely horse to come get them. I think makes a lot of sense. You can see Keith's got this horse picked second, so I totally agree with what his assessment is. So we're going to take a shot here with a little bit of a price. Our tickets are now done, but hopefully we can end a real high note. 6982, the order for myself, Strange Arrange. I'm hoping gets the job done here for Eduardo Rodriguez. Hopefully even an Eduardo Rodriguez exacta. Could be. For everyone here at Excel Entertainment, thank you so much. Our track announcer, Keith Nelson, has one more to call. But for all of you, thank you so much for being with us. Have a wonderful day. Remember, on Saturday, 1:30 post as per usual, and what it looks to be an interesting 8-race card. Fairmount Park, one more race left on the docket. I'm Peter Lurie. Have a wonderful evening. Be good to each other. We'll see you again soon. Good night.
Race number 8 on this Tuesday is series number 1 in the morningline.io sprint series. This is a starter, optional claimer for $15,000, or horses that have started for a claiming price of $10,000 or less from 2024 to thus far in 2026. Scratch number 10, QB9. Here's your lineup. Number 1 is Chavi, running for Kathleen Barbeau, the owner. Frank Randazzo Jr. is the trainer, riding as Javier Tavares. The 2, American Warrior, for Tom Basler, Dennis Pohl, and Stephen Pohl. Jimmy Watkins trains. Adamar Santos has the mount. 3, All About Tonight, for Abel Martinez. Ruben Cruz Jr., the trainer, riding as Manny Giles. 4, Sweet La Crema. Frank Reyes has the ride for Adrian Salazar, owner and trainer. Number 5, Whiskey in a Teacup. Vernon Obermeyer is the owner. Dennis Hornbostel, the trainer, and riding as Corey Orm. 6, Stranger Range, for Ismail Thoroughbreds LLC. Eduardo Rodriguez in charge, with Johannes Orangren in the irons. 7, Steel Link, Superfast Racehorses LLC. Scott Young trains, and Travis Wales has the ride. Charles Ritter and Scott Becker give us Bill's Honor. Scott is the trainer of the 8, riding as Victor Santiago. 9, Honor Point, for David Dory and Robert Commandant. Eduardo Rodriguez trains. Alexander Bendezu in the irons. The 10 is Scratch, and number 11 is Omar Razvi's Mr. Chivas. And Harold Ortega for the win. The winning connections get 5 points. For the place, 4 points. For show, 3 points. All the other starters get 1 point. You do not have to participate in all 4 races leading to the finale. It's all about garnering points. Also, there are trainer bonuses coming up. A trainer bonus of $10,000, courtesy of our sponsor, $5,000 of which will be awarded to the trainers who accumulate the most points for number of starters during this series. Trainers earn 1 point for every horse that they start in the series. Post time for the 8th and final comes up in about 3 minutes. Horses are on approach to the starting gate. You have less than a minute. Field loading in. Heavily back number 9, Honor Point as of now. Final wagers. Steel Link, Strange Ranger in. Chavi, American Warrior. Sweet La Crema. Bill's Honor. Honor Point steps in. 2 left. Whiskey in a Teacup and Mr. Chivas. They're in the gate. And they're off in the morningline.io Sprint Series. Out of the gate perfectly is Sweet La Crema. Has about a quarter length lead. On the outside, moving on up, hunkered down is Steel Link in second. Third is All About Tonight, the Gray. Running fourth and fifth, Bill's Honor and Honor Point are fourth and fifth. Stranger Range runs sixth. Seventh is American Warrior, hugging the inside plastic. Chavi is gaining good ground, way back to Whiskey in a Teacup, and nothing back there for Mr. Chivas, who's the late runner. Around the turn they go. It's Sweet La Crema's race from here on out by just about a quarter of a length. From Honor Point, on the outside is Bill's Honor. Honor Point takes command. Still there, lost in the traffic, is Steel Link as 4 of them continue to mix it up. Here's Chavi, who's gaining good ground down the center of the course, and one to recommend. They're inside the final furlong and a half. It's Honor Point threatening to make it a runaway. Honor Point straightens away. Sweet La Crema has to hold on. Here's American Warrior for a piece. Diving down is Steel Link, but they all have to catch Honor Point to win. American Warrior, a very good second. Then it was Steel Link, and then a photo 3-way. Either Sweet La Crema or on the far outside gaining up was Mr. Chivas. Nine, 2, 7, and we'll see who's fourth. Wow, 3-way go, either the 4, 1, or 5 down the center. The 4, Sweet La Crema, got fourth, 9-2-7-4. Race number 8 is now official. Your winner honor point paid $440, $280, $220. The trifecta $52.10. The late double 2 with 9, $35.30. The late pick 4, $288.70. Superfecta 10 cent, $55.46. The late pick 3, $127.50. Welcome back to the winner's circle. Winner of the last 4 races. 2 for 2 on this track. Number 9 honor point and a riding triple for jockey Alexander Bendezu, owned by David Dory and Robert Commandant. Eduardo Rodriguez, the winning conditioner, 4-year-old gelded son of honor code out of the Fastnet Rock mare. Limbo Loose, bred in Kentucky by Mount Brilliant Broodmares, LLC. The winning time for 6 furlongs, 1:12 flat. The 10 was scratched in our first series race, as more money goes to Thoroughbred Aftercare. We thank again our sponsors of the MorningLine.io Sprint Series. This is heat number 1. The next one will be coming up August 11th. Thank you for your attendance today. We'll do better next time, as we always try to get better here. We thank you again. We'll see you back here. Our next racing card is coming up Saturday at 1:30.